So, wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to LinkedIn Local Philippines Live. We are on LinkedIn Local PH, page, and YouTube channel. I'm AJ Diocaraza, your host. I'm a corporate educator and a writer and editor as well. Our special guest for this learning event is our fifth core connection in this weekly series in collaboration with the LinkedIn Local Philippines, BFJ Corporate Educators Incorporated, Masterminds Institute, and Blagapalooza. But before we start, here are just a few reminders. For us joining on LinkedIn, on Zoom, please stay on mute and off-cam mode to help ensure audio and video quality, capturing only that of the speakers and the hosts. Only the guests and the hosts are encouraged to have their mics and cams turned on during this live stream. Zoom and the StreamYard participants will be allowed to go on camera after the live stream or during the question and answer portion at the end of the program. LinkedIn and YouTube viewers are encouraged to send their questions or greetings. We will read them on the live stream at the end of the program if we still have time. Kindly stay until the end of the event for some announcements as well. Also, please share the LinkedIn Live and YouTube Live streams with your friends, colleagues, and connections. Let's all learn together. Thank you. And now, here is what everyone is waiting for. Welcome to our learning session. Today's topic is influenced, amplified, empowering influencer partnerships for brand success. As I mentioned, um, I'm AJ Diocareza, and to introduce our special guest for tonight is my co-host, Mr. Ariel Tolentino. So
Okay,
Ariel
thank
Tolentino is a president of CEO Masterminds Institute. He's a certified speaker, coach and trainer with the John Maxwell team, author of the award-winning book Significant Living. He's a founding member of Darren Hardy's Hero's Journey, a collection of more than 6,000 top achievers worldwide. And he sparks hope and encourage young entrepreneurs to believe in themselves. He also helps people become happy, healthy, and wealthy. So, my co-host, Ariel Tolentino. Take it away, sir.
okay. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Sobrang obvious na excited ako, no? So, anyway, this is such an honor to introduce our very special guest. Actually, she doesn't need no introduction because grabe, sobrang sikat na sikat naman ito. But anyway, so Miss Ace Gapuz is the CEO of Blagapalooza, 20 years as an influencer marketing with 50,000 plus community of influencers. Ace Gapuz is the CEO again of Blagapalooza. She's a prominent influencer marketing and events company in the Philippines. She has a strong passion for entrepreneurship and digital marketing. She established Blagapalooza as a leading platform that connects brands with influencers. As its CEO, she oversees the company's operation and strategic partnership and drives innovation in the influencer marketing industry. Ace's expertise and extensive experience have made her a respected figure in the influencer marketing community, empowering brands and influencers to forge a meaningful collaboration and achieve brand success. Ace has received several notable awards and recognition for the exceptional contributions to the influencer marketing and events industry. Some of the awards she has received includes the following. Medyo madami to, no? Young Entrepreneur of the Year, Influential Woman in Business, Industry Innovator, Marketing Excellence, Social Media Trailblazer. So, given this brief intro of our guest, let's start getting to know her even more. So, I was supposed to ask you how did you start, but I want to give some tweak, no? Uh, Sabi nga nila, clarity is power. So, with that, what one word will best describe Miss Ace Gapuz?
I guess that's my cue to say hi to everybody. What's up? Magandang umaga, magandang hapon, magandang gabi, wherever in the world you are watching. And thank you again to LinkedIn Local Philippines for inviting me in this live session. Hello to Ariel and AJ and to the team who is running the show behind the camera. But going back to Coach Ariel's question, if there's one word that would describe me, I would say I am versatile. I am versatile. I can cross different markets. Pwede tayong makipag-usap sa mga taga-kanto. Pwede makipag-usap sa mga top executives. I think that's a very important trait to have, Coach Ariel.
Wow, thank you so much. No wonder, no? Sabi nga ni John Maxwell, leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. So kaya naman pala. So now we know that actually it's not a secret to Miss Ace Gapos, no? And now connecting to the reason naman, to our purpose, as Simon Sinek always says, no? Always begin with your why. So why are you doing what you are doing? What's the reason behind?
I guess, Coach Ariel, what's important to note is that the why always has to have something that's about yourself. And for me, the why that's self-centered, I would say, is building something that lasts. But more than the self-serving reason, no, is it's how you would impact other people's lives. So, the why for me has to be about the self, but more than that, also about other people. So it's building something that lasts and making an impact in the lives of other people.
Wow, simple yet profound. So now I can ask the first question that I should
Of course,
ask
go ahead,
first.
Coach Ariel.
So how did you start as an influencer marketer?
That's a very long story, but to maybe distill everything to the more important details, I started as a blogger when I was around 11, 12. This was the early years of the internet pa. Maybe late 90s, early 2000s. So, blogging, storytelling, it's always been second nature to me. And then fast forward to when I started working already, I've been placed in a couple of fields, but I would say marketing and advertising has always been the way easy way of working to me, in a sense that it did not feel like work. So that's really how everything started. I was just placed in the right situations or situations that didn't feel like work to me. And maybe during the times of challenge naman, no, I was still enjoying it, in a sense na it was a pain that I was willing to endure. So um again, fast forward to many, many years after that early years of blogging, I'm now in this field, still in the content creation and influencer marketing field. Pero my roots really started as a storyteller, as a blogger when I was still very young.
Wow. So guys, contrary to what we always assume, no, this is not an overnight success story because talagang there's hard work, consistency, everything. So I'm loving the story ngayon pa lang. So anyhow, could you share with us how you began? Well, maybe you've answered that already. So what challenges did you face when starting as an influencer marketer? Did somebody told you like Oprah na you're not fit for blogging or influencing business? Meron bang mga ganung drama na diniscriminate ka na kaagad, di ka pa nga nagsisimula?
I wouldn't say that the discrimination na hindi okay as a content creator or as a blogger was there because again, I was very young and the internet back then was a very friendly place. But siguro, no, one of the challenges I would say that is remarkable is having to endure the earlier years dito sa negosyong to because back then and again we started 2011 ano back then no one was really believing in the commercial viability of bloggers and content creators. No one wanted to pay bloggers and content creators because why? You know, so during the earlier years, we really had to just depend on whatever budget was left for that year. Kaya, you know, you make do with what you have. Siguro yun yung challenge, Coach Ariel, when I was starting. It wasn't really a challenge in terms of capability, but challenge in terms of resources. No one was doing influencer marketing before we came in as Blogapalooza. We were the first in the Philippines to really mark that territory. So, syempre, when you're starting and no one has done it before, syempre, di ba? It's always a challenge to be the first, to be the trailblazer, to introduce something that's new to a market. But, you know, yun lang. Endurance lang talaga. Mm-mm.
Wow, thank you. And having said that, no, wala ka pang, kumbaga, no one's modeling that idea for you, di
That's
ba?
right.
Wala kang pagkokopyahan. Tayo
That's
as
right.
a human species, talagang we learn from mimicking, you know.
Mm.
So paano yun? What strategies or tactics did you employ to build your network and attract brands as an influencer marketer within Blogapalooza community?
Yeah. At that time, you know, you do what makes sense. You listen to people, you know. Yun nga eh, that's the challenge of being the first because you can't have something to mimic, something to model against. Walang benchmark, kumbaga. You
Yeah.
establish everything. So it takes a lot of listening and integrating the feedback from people that you work with. And siguro, you know, for us as well, one of the greatest marketing strategy has always been genuine care for the people that we work with. You know, and when you care for them, you listen to them, not only to what's being said, but also, lalo na actually, more importantly, yung hindi nasasabi, listening to what's not being said. You know, this goes for people who not only for the people who work inside their company but also for everybody that we work with. Siyempre, our partners, diba? Our suppliers, our creator community, most importantly. It's really listening, really genuinely caring. I think yun na yung pinaka-strategy talaga namin. Mhm.
Yeah, I guess that's the heart and soul of communication. It's
That
not
is
just about what do you want to send message across the table, but it's really getting what those people are sending across from
right.
coming from their table. So, grabe, napaka it's at that time maybe parang ayun yan, yung strategy talagang you will really need to do the best that you can. So
You need to
you'll
pave the
be able
way.
to listen.
You
Yeah,
need to
to
pave the
be.
way. Kumbaga para yung ano eh, you know, it's like land that's untouched. You're building the roads for it. Diba? You're paving the way for everybody. Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's paving the way. So now that we have already paved the way for everybody who loves influencer marketing, no, let's go and dive deep into the influence amplified topic that we have right now. So,
Okay.
how can brands effectively leverage influencer partnership to amplify their message and achieve brand success?
Yeah. For brands and influencers, it's very important that there is clarity with goals and um, there has to be a collaborative mindset for both parties, and not, again, not only for the brands but also for the influencers. The goals have to be very clear, no? For brands, mahalaga na malaman nila what success means to them at the onset. And more importantly, they have to have the collaborative mindset because they have to listen to what the creators would also bring to the table. The openness also has to be there. And, Coach Ariel, effectiveness of the partnership, it's always rooted naman in communication. I think you will have to agree, whenever we would work with any party that's external to ourselves, mahalaga that you're clear with your goals and you have that mindset, the openness that you're open to collaborate.
Okay, so for those who are listening or who would be listening, we have three important letter C's for our notes. So number one, clarity. Yan. Clarity, collaborative mindset or collaboration. So it should be a win for both parties. And of course, yun nga, yung communication. So tatlong C yun, no, na napakaganda para maging effective yung leverage natin to influencing. No? Okay, next question. What strategies and best practices can brands implement to empower influencer partnership and maximize the impact of their collaboration? So, maybe connected dun sa question number one.
Yeah, yeah, oo. Yeah, important that we set metrics or your rubric for success, because, and I say this to the brands, no, brands should always think of their influencers as partners in their business. Uh, and when you look at that as a partnership is always better when the expectations are clear from the beginning and there's clear and constant communication every step of the way. So it's really a partnership. It's really a two-way thing, Coach Ariel.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Again, very consistent yung mga sinasabi ni Miss Ace, no? Talagang makikita mo how she was able to build yung influence niya talaga. But let me just welcome, again, I encourage you to allow me to welcome Miss Bless Baluyot. Miss Bless, can you say something first before I continue with my next question and before I turn it over to you?
Oh, nasa akin na. Hi! So, hi everyone. So, sige, continuehan na muna, Coach Ariel.
Sige, I only have one more question for this portion, and I suppose I can have one more at the end. No? Okay, number three. What are the key benefits and potential challenges brands should consider when engaging in influencer partnerships, and how can they overcome challenges to achieve successful outcomes?
Okay, mahaba-haba yung tanong. Medyo kailangan nating himayin yun, ah. Parang there's
Oo nga.
benefits, there's challenges, and advice on how to overcome those challenges. So siguro, let's start muna with the benefit, ano? One key benefit of engaging influencers, working with influencers, is that the brands are now able to tell their stories in ways that they've never done before, because influencers put their creativity in the content that they do, and they also engage their community to improve the brand narrative. Before, Coach Ariel, AJ, and Bless, you're going to realize, or maybe you've observed, that brands are more pushy in terms of their content, not or in terms of their message, talagang push. But now, with the help of influencers, the push becomes more of a pull already in terms of message. So hindi na lang siya coming from the brand, it's also the brand getting the creators or the influencers and the community to help them improve that narrative. And that's one key benefit. Now, I would say that's one of the best benefits, no? The challenges, though, is that I would say the greatest one is that not a lot of brands already understand or know how to work with influencers. So there are some things, a lot of things that go wrong along the way. Minsan, the brands also, parang, ha? Magpo-post ka lang, bakit ganito ang presyo? Yeah, but what they don't understand is that yung post na nakikita ng mga tao sa social media goes through a lot of processes. Okay, it starts with, conceptualizing. Some creators even have a script. Some creators have, a production team. So there is a lot of things that go behind the camera. So what the people see, or maybe what brands see, is just the final product. They don't see the years that has gone through that content, the the things that the creators have to go through, building trust in their community. Ito yung mga bagay na, also the creators had to invest in. Hindi lang siya, nag-post ka lang. It's not that. Okay? It's not a lot of brands understand this because they only see the final product. They don't see the work that goes to it. And one that's one of the biggest challenges that I have observed in the past couple of years, that brands have started actively engaging the creators. But the last part of the question naman is more of how to overcome these
Yeah,
challenges.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, the best way to overcome this is, of course, get help from reputable influencer marketing partners. But for brands who might choose to do this in-house, or just by themselves without the help from practitioners, it's important that they consider listening to the creators so they could understand how to marry the goals of the creator and their goals as a brand. Again, sometimes the brands, they have a tendency to think superior of themselves because that's how things have always been eh. Parang pag ako yung brand, ako yung nagbabayad, ako dapat yung, what I mean, ako dapat yung masusunod kasi ako yung kliyente. But things are different now. Things are different now. The brands are not anymore the driver. They're just a director. More when you work with influencers, when you let the influencers tell your narrative, hindi na lang siya, itong sabihin mo ganito dapat ang pagkakasabi yung logo ko dapat malaki It's not anymore that. Every creator has his or her own spin to telling that brand narrative. Kaya, there are clear benefits. There are also challenges, especially that the industry is still quite new. But there are influencer marketing partners and practitioners that could help you understand and execute this better.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Miss Ace. No, I guess that is really worth retelling and re-listening, and kahit paulit-ulit kasi you really need to absorb everything that Miss Ace said about yung three questions natin. And it's really awesome na kaya pala na ganyan na, I would say na ikaw yung industry standard. Kumbaga, ikaw yung talagang nagmo-model sa kanila because you've experienced that person and you were able to successfully overcome all of those. Especially yung pag-question dun sa pricing, no, or dun sa pagbabayad nila na post lang tas ganyan yung bayad. So
Right.
anyway, before I turn you over to AJ to talk about, or to have questions about brand visibility, I would just like to say I am really inspired about your story, and I believe that people buy stories, not just literally the product. So thank you so much, Miss Ace.
Thanks, Coach Ariel. Appreciate it.
Memorable one for me. Okay, I'll turn you over to AJ. AJ, go ahead.
Okay, Miss Ace, thank you for this wonderful opportunity that I can converse with you and to meet every one of you right now. So, very timely, no? Yung what Coach Ariel asked about you and yung mga yung experience mo regarding marketing. Now, regarding brand visibility, I would like to know how can strategic partnerships contribute to enhancing brand visibility and expand market research?
Yeah. Okay. When you partner with influencers, I'm assuming this is strategic partnerships with influencers. Yes. Yeah. Partnering with influencers enables brands to reach markets that they wouldn't have otherwise reached effectively. Okay. Why is that? Again, a lot of us have been used to brands doing a push type of messaging. Okay? What do I mean by push? Because parang, bilhin nyo, maganda to, sobrang perfect para sa pang-araw-araw na buhay, di ba? That's how brands would communicate. Okay? But when you communicate through and with influencers, you're able to, be more relatable to their market. Okay? Parang the influencers are gonna tell you, okay, I'm having fun. I'm doing this with my friends. And this brand is the perfect partner whenever we would have, trips with my friends. You know what I mean, no? They tell it differently. So when you partner with them in that way, you're able to make your brand relevant to more markets and tell your story, your brand story in a way that you wouldn't have otherwise done by yourself.
Okay, thank you. So before it was like you shove it to them, no? Na,
That's true. Yeah,
like this,
yeah,
like
I
this,
agree.
like
Yeah, you
that.
shove it to them.
But
Correct.
right now it's like this na.
Yes, you pull them in.
You pull them in. And you
Pull them.
invite them in a friendly manner also.
Correct.
Nakikita ko dun yung collaboration,
That's
no?
right. Mhm.
Ayun, that's what um drives it to success.
Right. And that's what's different now as well, AJ.
Mhm.
Communication has changed and evolved in the past, I would say, in the past decade. No, it's not anymore a one-way type of communication. Almost everything is two-way now, especially when social media grew in popularity, diba? It's not just look at this. It's more of what do you think? Diba? What
Mhm.
else? So, hindi na lang siya push, pull na talaga sa ngayon.
At saka may feedback na lumaano, 'di ba?
Right.
The importance of feedback.
That's right.
Ayun. And so, what are the key factors in identifying influencers naman who whose followers align naman with your brand's target audience?
Okay. That's a loaded question because influence or different kinds of influencers are they have different strengths. Okay. So,
Mhm.
for example, if your brand's goal is to just introduce yourself to the general market, ba? You have to choose and work with influencers that really have the reach that can deliver the numbers. Okay? This is a little technical, but of course the marketers would be able to relate. Every single consumer goes through a journey. Okay? Everything starts with awareness. Okay? And then funnel yun eh, 'di ba? The customer journey funnel, the purchase funnel. So everything starts with awareness going down to loyalty. Okay. And an influencer would be effective in every single stage of that funnel. But to answer your question, AJ, one of the key factors in identifying influencer partners is to make sure that they themselves espouse the values that your brand practices. Yeah? There has to be alignment. Okay? Hindi naman pwedeng mag-promote ng something social. And I say social, say for example, high-level designer brand, ang isang influencer na very, I would say, masa talaga yung approach niya. Okay? We're not saying that that influencer cannot afford. Of course, they can. Okay? But it's just not them. You know what I mean? That's just not the message that they're communicating on a regular basis. So mahalaga dito ang alignment of values. Okay? Because again, if this is the value or these are the values of the influencer, malamang sa malamang the followers are also following that influencer because they can relate to that person. So the values alignment is always there. The brand, the influencer, and the audience. So I would say very important ang values for me. But syempre, again, you have to be very, very clear with your goals. If you're a brand, you have to be very, very clear with your goals because kahit pa ba anong values alignment niyan, if this influencer is not meeting your goals, you would always assume ay hindi siya effective. But probably ine-engage lang siya in a different way. Like, maybe we're just expecting a fish to fly. You know what I mean? But the fish, they're good at swimming. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's probably how I would answer that question, AJ.
Okay, so I see there the element of identification, no?
Mm-hmm.
They can identify with what you value.
That's right.
Ganon.
Mm.
Ganon. And we all know the importance of partnerships, no? So
Yeah.
how can partnerships naman with the industry expert and the relevant influencers contribute to the increase of brand authority and credibility naman?
All right. Okay. Let's go back to the conversation of communication evolving from previously being push centric to now being more of a pull. Okay? Before, you establish your authority and credibility by associating yourself with the more established institutions, right? Okay?
Okay.
You want to be featured in reputable media. You want to be on TV. You want to have an ad in a newspaper or a magazine. And that's how you establish credibility. Dati. Okay? But now, okay, hindi na nga masyadong naniniwala ang mga people are more discerning.
Mhm.
Okay? People are more discerning. And this is a double-edged statement. I hope I don't get canceled for this, no? But people follow people that they would like to believe. We've seen this happening in so many instances. So, if you're a brand, again, let's go back to values, diba? If you're a brand and you see that this person can bring something to the table in terms of, credibility, established community, yon, and you partner with this person or persons, whatever they've built, that gets associated to you without need of the traditional institutions. Let's give an example. Before, of course, the very big brands like yung mga talagang FMCG brands, no, with multi-million advertising budgets, they would always prioritize TV commercials. Kasi nandun yung credibility. Okay? But now, of course, they still do that. They have the money, but they also allocate a portion of their budgets to associate themselves with people that already have some credibility in them. Okay? I could give an example siguro of something that we've done. Okay? We work with a feminine wash brand. Okay? Previously, how this feminine wash brand would communicate, no, is really through TV commercials. Kasi, di ba? Mas may babaeng nililipad yung skirt, di ba? Ganun lagi yung mga feminine wash commercials. But now, because they want to communicate a message, they put up events that invite credible women, powerful women, women who excel in their own fields, because they want to communicate or parang they want to associate themselves with the credibility of these women who are credible as individual people. So ang dami ko sinabi, no, but these are partnerships that that leverage on the credibility of individuals, of influencers, of people who would be considered as authority figures.
Okay, thank you. So the credibility is very important with regards to this, as you mentioned.
Correct,
Now,
AJ. Mhm.
yes. Now, there are many people who are listening right now, and different uh, levels ang learnings ng mga or educational attainment
Right, right.
ng mga nakikinig sa atin ngayon. So
Mhm.
could you walk us to the dun sa essential steps in developing an impactful influencer marketing campaign so that every one of us or each and every one of us who are listening here would be able to understand yung steps na yon.
All right. Okay. Um, First off, I would start by saying that there really is no single way to attack an influencer marketing campaign, right? However, there are best practices. Ito na lang siguro. More than telling you this is what you do. Number 1, number 2, number 3. That's not how things are done. Okay? But, okay, siguro mahalaga na from the very beginning, ano ang gusto natin ma-achieve? Ano ang goal natin? Start with that. Okay? Say, your brand. Gusto kong makilala yung brand ko kasi I'm a new entrant to this market. Or maybe this is a very fragmented industry. So I want to make that impact. You know what I mean? So iba't iba kasi ang goals eh. Iba't iba. Some brands are very particular naman. Gusto ko lang ng benta. Bahala na kayo dyan sa buhay nyo. Gusto ko lang makabenta ako. You know what I mean? So it's very important that that fact is nailed down from the very beginning. Simula pa lang, alam mo na dapat yung goal mo. Okay? And then, coming from that, since alam mo na kung ano yung gusto mong ma-achieve, alam mo na kung ano yung gusto mong mangyari, ngayon tingnan mo na, sino yung mga taong pwedeng makatulong sa akin? Sino yung mga influencers na pwede kong makatrabaho knowing na ito yung gusto kong ma-achieve? Again, pwede siya na, gusto ko lang makabenta, bahala ka na. 'Di ba? Pwede rin siya na, oh, I want to be perceived as a premium brand. So I will only associate myself with the premium people, 'di ba? I don't care if that's a big time celebrity, no. Because, 'di ba? Kailangan premium. So, yung mga ganun nagmamatter. So, okay na, no? Yung goal natin, ano na natin, alam na natin. Clarity on the goal. Number 2, choosing which people would be helpful for you, which influencers would work best to help you achieve that goal. Tapos, pinakamadugong part dyan, AJ, is kapag tumatakbo na yung mismong campaign mo. Okay? Because remember this, for especially for the first timers, I wish we live in a perfect world, but we don't. So, you work with people and life happens to people, 'di ba? Biglang, I don't know, maaksidente, magkakaroon ng mga fortuitous events na hindi mo naman na-foresee, 'di ba? So sometimes these people couldn't meet deadlines. Sometimes people, they have different parang different paano ba? Comprehension skills, I would say. So minsan iba rin ang pagkakaintindi nila doon sa sinabi mo. So hindi siya perfectly tatakbo. You know what I mean? So kahit pa ba gaano kakaklaro na ito yung sinabi ko pero iba yung intindi niya. So ganun naman pag pinapatakbo mo yung campaign. So kailangan talaga meron kang way of making things easy for people to understand. Okay? Pabalikan lang ulit natin, yung goal. Mahalaga yan. Magsisimula tayo dun sa goal. Okay? And then pangalawa is getting influencers or people in general to help you achieve that goal. Pangatlo, yung mismong execution na. Yung mismong pinapatakbo nyo na yung campaign. It could be postings in social media. It could be live events like this, you know? It could be in-person events and other kinds of executions. Pero again, always remember, no, we work with people and life happens to people. So minsan hindi talaga aayon ang lahat kahit pa ba plinano natin ng bonggang-bongga. So and then of course after everything, when everything is said and done, it's important to evaluate, measure, discuss with the team, with the influencer partners, how did that campaign go? So going back doon sa tanong ni AJ kanina, no? AJ asked about steps. And again, walang klarong steps. Pero siguro when you know that this is the general blueprint of how to execute a campaign, baka things would be easier for you if you decide to do it yourself.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, last question na lang before I turn you over to Miss Bless Baluyot,
Yeah.
no? Kasi it's related to yung last point, yung measuring. You how can brands measure their influencer marketing efforts return on investment, yung ROI naman. Kung naging successful or it failed.
Sure. Right. Okay. So you can only say that one is successful or a campaign is successful when you've defined what success means to you sa simula pa lang. Okay, it's difficult. AJ, for example, no? We weren't able to establish what success means to us sa simula. And then when we run the campaign, biglang, wow, oh my gosh, 10 million views. But that's not what success means to you pala. 10 million views pero wala akong benta. Hindi successful yung influencer marketing campaign ko. Or like, wow, dami kong benta pero wala naman nag-view. Wala naman nag-comment. Wala naman nag-share. Hindi ako naging viral. So, it's difficult to pinpoint an exact ROI because ROI, the returns, are also dependent on what success metric has been established from the beginning. Yeah? Mahalaga na lahat nagsisimula sa klarong expectations and what success means to you. In our company, we call this the OMTM, the one metric that matters. Okay, when we establish this from the beginning, it's going to be clear how we will attack that campaign. If the client wants massive awareness, we will focus on awareness metrics, reach, impressions, views. These are awareness metrics. So ganun din yung atake. We will have campaigns that are focusing on these metrics para we can really tell them this has amazing ROI. Okay? Because klaro yung goal, di ba? Okay. However, when brands naman are very particular with the bottom line, like wala akong pakialam, basta magbenta kayo. Okay, that's a different approach as well. Diba? It's more selling, it's more pushy, it's creative ways of making sure that the checkouts are all going to really be checked out. You know what I mean? So, again, yun, dun natin masasabi na, okay ito, ROI is good because we spent this much and earned this much. So, iba't iba rin ang ROI metrics, no, AJ? Again, depending on the goals. There's return on ad spend, there's return on something else, there's cost per view, yung mga ganyan. These are all ROI metrics. But again, ROI will depend on whatever goals you've set from the beginning.
Okay, so very important talaga yung clarity.
Yes.
Yun. Clear yung goal mo and then meron ka ring metrics.
Always.
Ayun. So thank you very much. So with that, I thank you for this privilege, of getting to ask questions and learn from you. Now I turn you over to Miss Bless Baluyot.
Appreciate it. Thank you, AJ.
Okay, sige. Ito yung mga questions ko pero I think you've already answered most of them. So, pagdating do sa partnership and influence for collaborations, nasagot mo ng lahat eh. So, let's go dun sa part ng community building and leadership na.
Yeah.
So, how did you build yung was it 30,000 or 50,000 sa community?
We're more than 50,000 already.
Yeah, no, yeah, sige. Can you tell us or can you bring us dun sa journey mo on how you started the group? Kasi I know that you're building the team.
Yes.
Nakita ko yun. So, tell us because I know a lot of people would like to know us.
Okay, yeah. That's an interesting journey of how this community has been built. Una sa lahat, it's important to mention, no, I started this, I was young. And that's
Yeah.
worth mentioning because pag bata ka, marami kang energy. So the the journey really started with me going around the country. Totoo yun.
Okay, oo, yeah.
Mahalagang ma-mention na bata pa ako noon, no? So this was how many years ago? 8 years ago siguro talaga nung
Bata
nagsimula.
ka pa rin.
Yes, bata pa rin naman ako ngayon, yeah. Oh, but this started mga around those times, no. 8 years ago, I started going around the country to meet the creators where they are. Yeah. Pupunta ako ng, say, Batanes, and I'll meet the content creators in Batanes. And I listen to them. I will hear their stories. And gaya nung sinabi ko kanina kay Coach Ariel, not only hearing what's being said, but more importantly, listening to what is not being said. I did that over and over again sa iba't ibang bahagi ng Pilipinas. And I mean, Batanes to Tawi-Tawi.
Oo nga.
I learned about different cultures. I learned about different languages. Marunong na ako mag-Ilocano. Nakakaintindi ako konting Bisaya. Diba? But, building a community is really pouring out your heart dun sa mga nakakasama mo. Because I believe, oo naman, part yan ng trabaho. Pero ang tao, pupunta sila sa'yo kapag nakikita nila that there's really something that they can benefit or that they feel genuinely cared for. And it's also one of the things that I mentioned in this interview, one of the very first ones, are our greatest marketing strategy is really just genuine care and concern.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And doon na lang siguro nagkaroon, kumbaga, naging magnet na lang siya. We would give the communities that we would meet or the people na lang. We would give the people that we would meet a good time, a good experience, a good feeling. Wala man kaming pera noon, walang perang blaga noon. Kaya, the best that you can give them is that good feeling. Okay? And, ganun na lang, biglang nag-spread na lang yung ganong energy so much that a lot of people are very proud to call themselves Blogga fam.
Yes.
Even if I haven't met them, even if I haven't spoken to them, they love calling themselves Blogga fam because they know that the energy is there.
Yes.
And they feel good about being part of it. Mahalaga yon when you're building a community. You make people feel good, make people feel hopeful, you make people cared for. And that's, I think, how we were able to grow talaga the Blogga community.
But when you go around the community, do you have like activities, parties, or wala lang, just meet up lang talaga?
Yes. Was that meant to be a question?
Yeah. Meron ba mga activities that you do or meron bang formal?
Nothing set. I don't have my number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because lahat yan inaayon ko dun sa taong nakikilala ko. Some people, okay na kami kahit diyan kami sa karinderya kumakain ng crispy pata. 'Di ba? When I went to Jensen the first time, I met the creators of Jensen, the bloggers of Jensen. It was tuna festival. So dinala nila ako sa isang local place na ang sarap talaga ng tuna pa nga. So different approach. But when I went to Davao, the creators that I met there when I came to Davao the first time, they wanted the fancier restaurant, yung talagang sit down, may music na maganda, you know. So, iba't iba talaga ang approach. I think that's what is, I'd say, difficult, no, about community building, but that's what I enjoyed the most as well.
Pinaka-challenging dun sa pag-iikot mo around the Philippines just to meet all the bloggers and
Mm.
the influencers?
Pinaka-challenging yung time lang. Time talaga, oo. Kasi para sa akin, hindi naman challenge yung pagbibigay ng genuine care. Hindi naman challenge yung pagbibigay ng puso. It's so natural to me. Conversations, it's so natural to me. Relatability, walang kahirap-hirap. But time is really the challenge, you know. If I could be in multiple places at one time, I would do that. But yun nga eh, diba? When you build a community, when you establish these relationships, it demands that the entirety of yourself is in that moment. Kaya yun ang challenging. I would have done things faster kung kaya ko lang split ang katawan ko. Yeah, but you know, that's medyo cheesy na yung conversation, but that's really part of it. It's part of this business.
Okay, bring us to the journey naman of you being nominated sa most influential and sa top 100. Ano yung feeling? What changed? So yun, share with us.
Okay, of course it feels good. Recognition always feels good. And I wouldn't say na, oh, I don't deserve this. Oh, it's because I genuinely feel that I deserve it.
Very
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
It's, you know, I wouldn't be parang, I want to be humble, ganyan, because I know how much work I have put in the things that I'm doing. So it's nice to be recognized. What I can say, however, is that it's not something that I work hard for, meaning say I don't work for the recognition. It's nice to be recognized, but I don't, you know, aspire for it. Like
Yeah.
it drives my everyday. It's a nice to have, but it's not my main motivation. But yes, it feels good, of course. It feels nice to be validated, to be recognized. Yun siguro siya.
Okay, that's nice to hear, no, Ace. It's the company's birthday, or is it your birthday? So tell us about it. Do you have activities for this month? Happy birthday, Ace.
Yeah, that's a great question, right? June is Vlog's anniversary month. We consider June 19 our birthday, the company's birthday, because it was what's in the papers. It was officially June 19 when we got the papers out. But syempre, there was a process that had to be accomplished, no? But June 19 is officially the company's paper birthday. So on June 19, that's in a few days na pala. Lapit na pala.
Malapit na.
Yeah, we will be launching the newest venture of Blogapalooza that's called The Beach, the BCH, or the Blogger Creator Hub. It's the country's first brand-powered collaboration hub for creators and influencers. It's a long-time dream of mine, if I could just share. I've had this dream 2016 pa lang. I wanted a place, studios where the creators can go and just collaborate. Walang malaki, maliit, walang Erwan Yusuf, walang maliit lang na baguhan. You know what I mean? I've mentioned Erwan because he won an award recently. But hi Erwan. Anyway, walang malaki, walang maliit. It's a place for creators. Many years ago, I've dreamt of it already. But of course, 'di ba? You have to also temper your desires. Wala pa tayong budget noon. But 7 years after, that was 2016. 7 years after, we're finally opening the Blogger Creator Hub. So again, it's brand powered. It's going to be in the Mega Tower, the new building between Mega Mall and Shang in Mandaluyong. So I'm excited to introduce that to people. We're just in the finishing touches already of that place. But yeah, that's one of the major things happening this month. And ano pa ba? Parang, well, June is
October,
always,
meron kang event, di ba?
yeah, that's still in October. It's called Bloga Fest.
Mm.
But if you could
Yeah.
focus on June, no?
Yeah,
Um,
June.
a lot of activities happening this month. Pagka June talaga, anniversary month ng Bloga,
Yes.
activities are really just there. Uh,
Uh,
yeah, but one of the major ones is really the launch of the beach. And then we're also launching a new business unit. It's called Blogified. It's creator merchandise. We'll be starting to produce merchandise for influencers and creators. That's exciting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice to
Yeah.
hear. Okay, guys, baka you have questions pa kay Ace.
Mhm.
Ako, I have.
Go
Oh,
ahead,
sige,
Coach
go
Ariel.
ahead, coach.
So, well, talagang ano to, siguro I'll take this opportunity to really mag-dwell din sa akin. So, what advice will you give to aspiring, currently doing influencer marketing, and yun nga yung sinasabi mo na you need to genuinely care and make those people who are under your influence feel that they are loved and they are valued and well listened to.
Yeah. Okay. The question is advice, no, for people who want to do influencer marketing.
Yeah.
Um, Never stop learning. This is an ever evolving industry. It's a good time to be in this industry. The demand is growing. There are more and more creators. A lot of social media channels are there, diba? So it's a good time to be in this industry. So, never stop learning. There'll always be something to learn from people that you meet, from different circumstances, from different things that you see in the media that you consume. Ang daming matututuhan. So, I'm a learner, Coach Ariel. I like learning. I like talking to people because I learn from them. I like experiencing things kahit minsan trial and error because I learn from it. So, ang daming learning opportunities ngayon. So I would say for people who would want to be in this field and maybe do the things that we're doing, grabe, take advantage, as in really maximize the many learning opportunities that you are able to get hold of.
Thank you. Thank you so much
AJ?
for that valuable advice to each and everyone who wants to be an influencer. Miss Bless,
AJ, do
go
you have,
ahead.
AJ, you have question for Ace?
Actually, very comprehensive naman yung ano niya, yung presentation niya. And I just want to thank you for the wonderful opportunity to get to know you, Ace.
Salamat. I genuinely enjoyed this.
Thank you very much, Ace. Can you tell us where to reach you? Although we already know, but I think people would want to know where to reach your social media pages mo.
Of course, right. Yeah, I'm just Ace Gapuz everywhere. I'm pretty easy to find. And I'm present across the major social media channels. That's, of course, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm there also. So Twitter, I'm more, I'd say, raw. So, but you can get a taste of what I am as a person in the social media channels that I have. I'm more more often unfiltered, but that's, I think, what makes me lovable as well to many people. Yeah, I'm very candid. What you see is what you get. What the energy that you feel right now, this is the energy that I have all the time. But yeah, you can find me in all of the major social media channels. That's Ace Gap was everywhere.
Okay, so that's it. Our takeaway for tonight, effective strategies for influencer collaborations, community building for maximum impact. So kailangan talaga makipag-usap sa mga tao. Inspiration from the success stories of ACE. Narinig natin lahat yan. Networking and collaboration opportunities. And because of that, I'm gonna thank Ariel Tolentino, Coach, Laylord Marcelino, our tech, and then Masterminds Institute. Our next guest would be Jonas, Coach Anda, and Ian Santos. In a few days, that will be next week. So thank you very much, Ace. That's it for tonight. Thank you everyone for joining us. See you all again next week, and it's another date here on LinkedIn Local Philippines. See you. Bye guys.